Hey, Mike with Mike's Bags. Today I'm reviewing the Viper X by Ultra. This is the newest bag released by Ultra. I've got a ton of requests to review it, so let's go ahead and dive in, break these Viper X's down. Slow side is a carpet material. It is that herringbone carpet. It is the more popular of the herringbone materials. Same slow side that Ultra uses on the Freak X. Same slow side you find on the Buffalo, Fallout X and Fury, the BG Wizard Sorcerer, the Ninja Streets, the B3 Fatal Prime, the Alpha Back Shadow X, the Southwest Capo, X Level Counterpunch, Cornhole Coastal Creature. I'm going on. There's a ton of bags that use this material, and a good reason. It's a very versatile material. It's one of my favorite materials because I just love the control you get with this bag, and it gives you a lot of options when you're playing. I typically call it a 5-speed. Every time I review this, I say it's a material you can manipulate speeds on. New, it plays faster, 5.5 to 6 speed. You keep it clean, you wash this bag, you get a fabric shaver, you kind of shave the fuzzies off, keep it really smooth. It'll stay on that faster end. If you play and you rough it up, you throw in concrete, asphalt, throw outdoors, you get the material really roughed and fuzzed up, you get it dirty, you get that sweat in there, you don't wash it, you don't clean it. It's gonna play like a really slow 4. Most players, normal conditions on inside on pitch pads or smooth surfaces, it's gonna start out at a 5-speed. This, I'm gonna call this one more of a 4.5, and I'll get into that in just a moment as to why. Fast side, this is that Viper fast side material. Same fast side you find on the Viper, the Viper R, the Pro Snipers. It's a 9-speed. It's fast. It's great for push and collect and cleaning up any kind of messes out there. So it's a wonderful material if you want to play this more of a block dirty style game. You've got the fast side to push through and collect through multiple bags if you need to. So 4.5 and 9-speed on this Viper X. Template wise, this is that medium to large template you get Ultra. Ultra tends to have a larger template on their bags. They run bigger than most bag companies. So this is kind of that larger feel. Now it is a little fuller than what I'm used to on Ultra bags. So I think the template the materials haven't stretched as much, so it doesn't quite get as wide as like that Viper R really stretches out, gets really kind of floppy, sloppy. This didn't quite get to that point, and I don't know what it's just this herringbone material just doesn't stretch as much as that hybrid R material does. But it so far it hasn't stretched as much. It's still kind of that medium to large template on this. Medium amount of fill in here. It does have some flop. This is not overly floppy, so if you don't like a floppy bag, I think you'll like these Viper X, especially if you like a larger bag. You don't like those really small full bags, but you like the larger bags, but you don't like the floppy bags. I think you'll like this. It's kind of that medium to fullness with the medium to larger template on there. Now, the fill in here it's that flat fill that Ultra uses. I think it's a little bit of a mixture of some flat disc with some of that thicker flat, but it's mostly flat disc in here, which gives the bag an amazing hand feel. You grab this bag, it feels really good and fluid. I can grip it. There's enough feel. I get a great grip on it. There's no bags not flopping or moving around. I love the way this bag feels in my hand. And I have total control when I grab this in my hand for throwing. Now, the one thing I will mention on this, and I talked about the speed on this, is these bags weigh less than normal bags do. They're still within specs. I weigh every bags that I review. I weigh them. I just don't talk about weight because, one, my scale is not really necessarily, I don't think it's accurate enough for me to say, here's the weight of this bag or that bag, because it's just it's a cheap kitchen scale I used to weigh. But I think it's accurate enough to compare the bag weights, and this bag runs like 6 or 7 grams lighter than typical normal bags do. Again, you're still well within specs. It's not underweight at all. But, and when you hold the bag in hand, like I didn't know, like I don't feel it being lighter. Like you can't tell the difference in weights. It's not enough to be able to physically grab it and go, oh, this is lighter than that one. But where I noticed it was in the speed, and that's why I mentioned this bag plays slower. And I've done some testing on weights of bags, because that's something new to the ACL is bag weights and being able to use different weighted bags. And I've done some testing, and I really haven't been able to nail down or come to any conclusions about how the weight necessarily affects the speed. I think it does, depending on material types. I find sometimes lighter weight bags on faster bags play faster, lighter weight bags on slower bags play slower. I think, the materials and the bags themselves, the weights affect them differently, and then different players and different throw styles affect. So sometimes for me, it might play slower, but for someone else, it might play faster. So it's hard for me to say that necessarily that this is going to, the lighter weight is going to cause the bag to do this. But what I found is when I was throwing these bags, I noticed they kept stopping short. Like I felt like every fourth bag I threw came up short. Now in editing, it wasn't quite that bag. There's quite a few fourth bags that came up short. I found these bags tend to hang on the hole more than I thought they should. Now, herringbone carpet is not very hole friendly. I say that all the time. This is not the most hole friendly material out there. That's one of the negatives on it. Flat fill, not very hole friendly. And you combine the two together, you're going to get bags hanging on the hole. But then you get a lighter weight bag that's it's playing a little slower, it's stopping shorter. And I really feel like lighter weight bags, and I mentioned this when I reviewed the Wizard L, I had bags hanging on the hole more there. And I really do think when you get lighter weight, you don't have that weight to pull down the bag to drag the bag in when they're lighter. It tends to want to stop and settle more. And I just found that out. It's not, I don't want to say it's necessarily a negative. Like the playability is fine on it. I had no issues. It's just in my mind, I'm used to this material playing a certain speed, and I just didn't really adjust for it. Now, if I kept throwing these bags for a while, I would throw them a while. I could get used to them. Like you can adapt to that. So keep that in mind. But if you're a harder thrower or you play on faster boards, I think then that's where this comes in, that lighter weight, that touch slower speed, maybe becomes a benefit to you guys. So anyway, just want to mention that just to be aware of it. I don't really think there's anything to really take away from the lighter weight other than just know if you're used to throwing a herringbone carpet, you get this. It may not play quite as fast as you're used to, so just be aware of that. These bags are ACL stamp, ACL Pro stamp for 2024, so you play ACL events, you can throw these Viper X's. Let's go ahead and jump in, talk about playability on this. And as I mentioned, herringbone is very versatile. If you want to run bags in the hole, you can get up there, you can run bags in the hole, especially on faster boards. It's wonderful for that. If you want to play a dirty style game, you can get up there, you have the control to throw blockers, especially with this bag. Like I could put blockers anywhere when I had complete control of this bag for throwing blockers up there, because the bags are fuller, they're very collectible. They're not accordion up. When you go to collect, the corners don't smash up. You're just clipping a corner, you take it in, so you can get more aggressive with that blocker and then come down to your last bag, clip it, and take them in. So definitely really good for that dirty style game. It's a great bag for shot shaping, cuts, rolls, flops. I was able to really cut this, and I didn't mention this, but herringbone material, the other negative besides not being very hole friendly is it does have a kick to it. And this bag being lighter weight bags I find kick more than heavier bags for whatever reason. So I did find this bag to have a kick. So you really need to make sure you have a flat bag. If you're not really a flat bag thrower, this is maybe not the best option. Maybe something like that Viper R is better if you want to stay in the ultra line. But if you throw flat, then this gives you the ability to cut. I can make some really harsh, aggressive cuts with this. I find lighter weight bags tend to be easier for rolling and flopping because they do get up easier and hop over bags easier. In fact, they're better at that than they are pushing through. So if you're in that roll flop style game, you can definitely do these Viper X's. You have a ton of options for getting this bag in the hole. So I say you throw a blocker up there, you can cut around, come down, clean up. Now I will say when you're pushing, I found slow side pushes weren't that easy for me because of the slower speed. I had to go fast side. Fast side pushes weren't too bad. I had no issues with them. Again, plenty fast side to push through. If you play against opponents who play a dirty style game and they're throwing blockers up there, a bag like this, like I said, gives you the options with the cuts, rolls, flops to get around their bag. I will say for my personal preference, it's not the best herringbone bag I've thrown out there. It's not the best at really anything. Like if I were to pick a bag to throw and it was herringbone, this is probably not on the top of my list, but that's a personal preference, right? Like some of you may love this bag. Some of you may not like some of the other bags. There are options out there. You may get this, you may love it. I would recommend trying to find a set to throw, to borrow, go to a blind draw somewhere and throw them before you spend the money on, because Ultra's prices are a little bit higher than other backups out there. So just keep that in mind. Which leads me to availability. And Ultra has the website, ultracornhole.com. Put a link in the description for you guys as always. Viper X's. The prices, the price is one of the things that frustrates you about Ultra is their prices go all over the place. So I think these things regularly are priced at $125, but Ultra always has them quote unquote on sale. When I bought this set, they were on sale for $115. I think just before I went to this review, they had them on sale for $99. So if you want to play that game and if you see them and they're not priced low enough, keep checking. Eventually Ultra may drop the price on them. So anywhere between $99 to $125 is where I think they're somewhere in that range. I got these with shipping, taxes, everything for $135, which is on the higher end. Really, really expensive for a set of bags. That was probably my issue if I were to sit down and decide about whether I wanted to buy a set of bags or not. Playability wise, I have no issues buying them. Price wise, that's where it comes in, because $135 is a lot. There are a lot of great bags that have the same materials that are $100 or less, right in the $100 or less range. So are these $35 better than those? No. Now, right now, they're $99. I think if you get them shipped and everything, taxes and all, it's probably closer to $120 right now. But still, even at that price, are they $20 better than something like? I don't think so, not in my opinion. But if you have the money to spend and the money's not an issue for you and you want to buy them, go buy them. Like there's nothing wrong with it. If I went to a blind draw and you pull these bags up to throw, I'm happy. I can throw these. I can play my style of game with them. I have no issues whatsoever with throwing this bag. Quality wise, like people say Ultra is top quality on bags out there, and I have no issue with Ultra's quality. I mean, in all my years of doing this, I think I've only had a couple times where I've had a quality issue with the bags, and it was minor, wasn't a big deal. But that being said, I can't tell you the last time I had a set of bags that I thought these are poor quality. I just think you're getting the same quality at $100 as you are at $135, and that's where my issue is. So again, if price is not an issue, you don't care about it and you like the sound of this bag, go try it. If you've thrown these Viper X's, I'd love to hear your feedback, whether you agree with me, you don't agree with me, whatever. I'd love to hear your thoughts on these. I thank you so much for your support, and I thank you for watching.